After mentioning in yesterday's vlog that it's normally and almost entirely Claire, my wife, who does all the painting in... Oh God, oh no. Oh no, Wilson. Oh God, I've just got some paint on Wilson's nose. Dude, you just got paint on your nose. Oh God. What I was going to say... Oh no. What I was going to say was... I've decided today, because of what I said yesterday, that my wife does all the painting in our house and always has done. Today I'm going to help out. While she's gone out, I've decided to paint the ceiling. I've also painted the dog. Okay, I think we got the paint off his nose. Back to the ceiling. Once I've finished this, today's vlog is going to be a full review of my electric skateboard, the Inboard M1. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll already know all about that. I use it all the time. Today, as long as it stops raining, I'm going to take it out, give you a full review of it. So, painting's done, ceiling's painted. I'm feeling particularly proud of myself. So I'm off to go and meet Mrs. P at the pub for lunch. Hopefully she's going to be pretty proud of me too. Obviously left a little bit of paint on my hands just so that she knows I've been grafting hard when she first sees me. Right, here's the skateboard. Safety first, and the unknown in all of this is the fact that I didn't come on my own. I came with this guy. I'm pretty sure I know how this is going to go, and that's badly. Right. You haven't seen this before, have you, mate? Here we go then, buddy. So that's pretty much what I expected to happen. My end goal in all this is that I want to be able to take this thing out whilst taking him for a walk. I know that almost seems impossible right now, but that's my end goal. That's my training regime for 2018, is to be able to take Wilson for a walk on the electric skateboard. Clearly that's not a short-term fix. Not a short-term fix, but in the meantime, let's have a look at the board. The board is literally my favourite toy. It's the favourite thing I own. I mean, genuinely a brilliant piece of kit. I never tried an electric skateboard before getting hold of this one, and I was very lucky in that Inboard, the company who make these, very kindly sent me one so that I could use it when I was making my Formula E track guides over the course of 2017. All the circuits that we went to last year, I took this thing out, making a track guide, explaining how the circuit went, what the corners were like, and basically I whizzed around on an electric skateboard for the day whilst I was being filmed talking about the track. You know, I call it work. Clearly that's not a proper job, and I know that that was a very lucky thing. Anyway, I still, in my personal life, use the electric board now all the time. I use it in I take it to every country I go on all my travels. I always try and get out on it to see the cities that we go to. For getting around London even, it's just the best thing. You can go through the traffic way quicker than getting a taxi, way quicker than walking. I love it. I love it so much. It's my favourite bit of kit. the basics behind it are very, very straightforward. I mean, this is the technology in this thing is pretty much you know, very similar to that of an electric car, which is one of the things that makes electric cars just so, you know, brilliantly basic. There's not a great amount to them. Electric motors and a battery, some sort of control system, you know, and the electronics to run it all, and there you go, you've got your kit. That's your hardware, and this is no different. This has 2 electric motors inside the rear wheels of the skateboard. So tiny little motor in here, another one in here. You can see there's some bits of cabling here, and that really is the only bit of visible evidence that this is an electric longboard and not just a standard longboard, because one of the things I love most about it is its sleek design. There are lots of other longboards on the market, electric longboards. Some of them though have very sort of bulky, clunky batteries slung underneath in a box kind of thing. The design of this, I mean, look at it, it's thin, it's really very sleek and nicely put together. It has lights, so headlights and tail lights, and although they might sound sort of fairly gimmicky, at night, if you are riding this thing at night, not only do these things light up the road in front of you, they're very, very good, but also it just obviously helps to allow you to be seen by other road users. So really, really quite useful things. How does it work? Right, the battery, which sits inside this sort of stealthily hidden panel, sits inside there. I'll show you that in a little while. That slots inside. It can be removed. So when I'm travelling, when I'm going on aeroplanes, I take the battery out, put it in my hand luggage. This board goes in its lovely sleek carry case and goes into the holder for the aeroplane. It also means that if that battery runs out of charge, I've got a spare one that within, I'd say, less than 10 seconds, you can pop that battery out and pop your new one into position and you're off running again. That's obviously brilliant. That makes it really, really easy to use. The manufacturer's stats are something along the lines of, it goes for about 7 to 10 miles, 7 to 10 miles on a charge. It actually goes up to 24 or 25 miles an hour, depending on what setting you have it on, which is insanely fast. Shush. Wilson, please stop barking, mate. Stop barking. Shh. Shush. So actually, really, really easy to use. I've got to say, I think I'm making progress with Wilson already. Come on, buddy. Come on. No, Wilson, no. Hey! No. Wilson, no. 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 Wilson, no. No. Wait. Yeah, maybe not then. Still got some work to do. Come on, buddy. Come on. Oh, God. Right, we're going to give this a little bit more of an advanced test with Wilson. On the lead, on a road. I know, terrible idea. Right, come on, buddy, let's go. Right, come on. Here we go. Come on. Oh, God. Come on. Good boy. Come on, Wilson. Come on, good boy. Good boy. Tell you what, that's better than I thought it was going to go so far. Come on. There you go. Look. It's just me and my dog, electric skateboarding along. Yeah, whatever. Love it. This is the future of dog walking right here. In terms of the way this thing rides, it's so easy. Whether you're a skateboarder or not, I mean, it's so easy. Once you've got your balance, and you've got 10 minutes it took me to get the hang of it, really, that's it. And like I say, now you took the time. It's just got this really simple hand controller. It's a hand throttle, basically, that makes the thing go forward or backwards. And when you pull it backwards, it brakes. So from top speed I can pull the from top, really easy to use. From top speed I can pull the brake and it will slow me right down to a stop in almost no time, which I cannot tell you how useful that is when you are tearing down a slope towards a tube station in London and there are crowds of people at the bottom of it. That's invaluable. Just like on a Formula E car, when you hit the brakes or pull back on this throttle here, the motors inside the rear wheels turn into generators and start regenerating energy and feeding it back into the battery. Simple technology, but bloody brilliant. It's just so much fun. The trucks are really quite responsive for a big longboard like this, and particularly a longboard that has no flex in it. I guess that might be one of my criticisms, if there is one, is that any longboards that I've ridden in the past have always had, you know, traditionally they're very flexible. They're made of sort of bamboo or something, and you can bounce on them, you can really flex into the turns. You can't do that. This is pretty solid. But even so, the fact that the trucks are really very flexible kind of makes up for some of that, allows you to still turn with the responsiveness that you know, that you would want. Now this is the kind of tarmac that you want. Fresh, smooth, billiard table like tarmac, perfect for skateboarding. That's the battery, really small, really easy to take in and out, which is absolutely crucial for travelling and for replacing it when one runs flat and you want to put a new one in. It's so simple to put in, literally that's it. Power it up and the thing turns on. Put that component in. That's one of the best features of this board. Controller, as I said here, really straightforward. Once you turn the thing on, you'll see the lights power up. You can turn the lights on and off, of course, as well if you're riding it in daytime. There's a little dead man's switch here on the front. Hold that down and then your throttle makes the thing go forward and back. You can change the power settings on an app on your phone, so you can change the power curve as the power comes in with the application of the throttle. So you can have it as quite an aggressive full power mode, obviously the way I have it. Or when I put my 7-year-old son on it every now and again, I can ramp that right down. So at max speed of like 8 miles an hour, and it's a really steady power curve. So really useful if you're learning on it, or if you're a pro. There are, you know, different settings for anybody. I absolutely love it. I think it is a brilliant toy. If you want to treat it as a toy, it's an enormous amount of fun. But actually, as a mode of transport, if you want to justify the cost, and the cost was originally $1,300 US. That went down to $1,000 US on Black Friday. So I think you can probably get it for around that now. You can have them shipped over to the UK. That's a lot of money, obviously, for a toy. If you're going to call it a toy, it's an expensive one. But if you treat it as a mode of transport, if you treat it as a means to get around, to commute, particularly, as I say, if you live in a city, actually $1,000 for something that you'll get an awful lot of use out of is actually not that bad. You know, you can pay people pay well over $1,000 for a bike, for a push bike. So you can take it places that bikes can't go. You can easily pick it up, take it on a bus, on a tube for the bits that you can't ride. It's quite easy to store, of course, because it goes in that bag. You can pop it in a cupboard. You can put it under your desk at work. There are lots of advantages to using this as a means to commute to and from your place of work or across town on. And in terms of the technology, you know, this is, I keep calling it future technology. It's not future technology. This is the technology of now. It's a bit like Formula E. It's not racing of the future. It's racing right now. This is the technology that is coming onto our road cars, it's coming into our racing cars, it's coming into, you know, push bikes are becoming electric, skateboards have become electric. The technology is so simple but so effective and just so good that, you know, denying that we're all going to be using it is just pointless. So to have it packaged up as nicely as Inboard have done inside the M1, I think is a real triumph. And it's one of the most beautiful electric longboards I've seen. In terms of its performance, I can't really fault it. It's great. If you're looking for the downsides, I suppose, you know, the cost is one, that it's quite expensive, but perhaps not if you compare it to other similar longboards. I guess the fact that it doesn't flex, I see as a bit of a downside. I'd have much preferred a flex. A boosted board has an awful lot of flex in it for, I guess, around a similar price, maybe a little bit more expensive. And the other thing, it's quite heavy. So because it's made of a composite material, which is stiff, it doesn't flex. It's, you know, it's molded into this beautiful shape, but the downside is that the whole thing's heavy. Even without the battery inside, it is quite heavy. So having said all of that, if you're in the market for an electric longboard, you don't need to look much further than the Inboard M1. Let's leave it there.